Hi, welcome back to topic 4, part 2. So we continue with item number 6, which is a research aim of your research proposal. And why research aim is very important is because it's basically an overall aim for your research that giving you a broad statement of a desired outcomes for your research or the general intention of your research, which paint the picture of your research proposal. So you are telling people these are the things that you are trying to achieve in your research. General summaries of research objectives, which mean you have one aim, a research aim. Perhaps you can have a few more objectives in order for you to reach the research aim. So, example here, it must be highly focused and feasible, which means it is doable, and it has to be using an accurate concept and precisely described. Number 7 is your research objectives. So research objective provide guidance and focus of a research. It usually numbered so that each objective read as individual statement to convey your intention in the research aim. So it has to be realistic and achievable or doable. A good research objective will flow from the first objective to the next objective. For instance, in your aim, you would like to find a way to promote green building in the Sarawak construction industry, for instance. So what will be your first objective? First objective is to establish the concept of green buildings based on the literature survey or current practices. Secondly is to identify what are the challenges of this green building implementation in Sarawak and beyond, in Malaysia and somewhere else in the world. And the third one, perhaps you want to look at what are the strategy that you can use to promote this green building to a Sarawak construction players. So this is what we call as having a flow in the research. Okay, for instance, your research question first, what are the indicators of users' health safety in HEB? So your first objective is to identify the performance indicators, okay, because you want to find what are the indicators, alright? So the method that you are using, literature review and semi-structured interview. Okay, this is how you should draft your research question. Research question basically to answer your research question, and you have to know what are the instrument or the method that you will use or adopt in order for you to answer your research questions. So research objective must be SMART. SMART means specific, measurable, attainable, reviewable, and you have a time limit. You need to be realistic based on your current situations and limitations. Number 7 is a research methodology. Research methodology is very important because it helps you to identify what are the activities in the research, how you are going to proceed with your research, and how to measure your progress of your research. So you need to discuss in detail how you will collect your data and conduct the research. So you have to tell your readers or your evaluators that, or it's a guide for yourself to how to embark on this journey and what are the steps to take and what are the things that you need to do. So details whether you are using interview, survey, via questionnaire perhaps, content analysis or case study and other types of data collections. So number 8 is a scope of research or a sampling. This is a very important because we need to know our scope or our limitation when we do a research. Perhaps we are a researcher in Sarawak. Perhaps we cannot cover the whole Malaysia kind of research. So our limitation is location or a time or a resources, for instance, money, staff, and so on. So in other words, you have to mention this clearly in your research proposal so that it won't be questioned. And the one who are going to read your research knows your limitation, and they can decide on how our outcome of a research can impact their research as well. So you need to include what is involved, where is the location of your research, what will be measured, how and when data will be collected, and how will data will be analyzed. Number 9 is literature review. You need to have a very strong literature review in order for you to provide a good proposal. Literature review is a summaries from books, journals, index publications, or general publications such as newspaper, magazine. And you have to be very selective in choosing which literature review that you will include in your review. So in a research area, in one research area, there will be a lot of sources, there will be a lot of researchers in that particular area. So what you're gonna do, put yourself in a situation you are the narrators, you are the editors, or a film producer, for instance, and these literature reviews are your scripts, your actors. So you have to make a decision which script, which actors, which situation that you would like to put in your research proposal, in your literature review writing. So you need to be very selective and make sure the thing that you put in your proposal and your research writing is very relevant and very important. Doesn't mean that a good literature review needs to be very thick, but it has to be very compact. You need to identify your study contribution to the field, discuss the relationship of your proposed research to other local and international researchers in the field, and also point out improvements in the field, and it has to be very well structured. So you need to plan your research, your literature review by looking at the available themes or coding, so that you won't be dragged away from the what you are supposed to do. So next one is the function of the literature review. The first one is focus on what has been done before, which means you are going to report authors A saying that, authors B mentioned that, authors 3 has supported author 1, something like that. So you need to mention what has been done before. Second, outline the instrument you will use and why. Third, points out why it is necessary to conduct your research. And number 4 is to set the boundaries for your study. Number 10 is the significance of your research. It means that you need to tell people why your research is very important, so you can highlight how it can add to the body of knowledge, what will be the new or very important things to your research, effectiveness and efficiency, perhaps something to do with the economy and wealth of generation, how to improve a quality of life or better environment, on perhaps in terms of a capacity building for that particular research area. References is very important because, as I mentioned previously in the previous topic, plagiarism is an offense. So you need to highlight, you need to acknowledge the previous researcher that you used in your research, in your literature review, that by quoting or referencing their works. Okay, you need to have a good aid of referencing manager, such as the EndNote, Mendeley, BibTeX, and so on. So you will be introduced to all of these referencing manager when you start to do your research proposal letter. So next, writing a checklist. Make sure that you conducted a grammar and spell check, because it's good to have a good research proposal with no grammatical and spell error. Okay, and you have to look at the style as well, whether it's a correct referencing style, whether the evidence is enough. Okay, or do you use a lot of slang or jargon in your research? It's good that you use a simple English so that even a layman person can understand your proposal. It doesn't need to be very scientific, but it's good if it's a scientific investigation, but you are able to use a simple words that everyone can understand. Okay, this is an example from a good friend of mine, where she explained on how she started to do the research proposal. I will explain this further in the class during our Google Meet session later. Okay, tips for a successful proposal writing: make it simple. I normally use the word KISS. KISS means keep it simple. Okay, so make it simple, keep it simple, slightly simple, avoid pretentious language, unnecessary jargon, and double speaking by cutting down every unnecessary words. Alright, and read your work loud, which means you have to read it out loud so that you understand what you are writing. Always remember, revise, revise, and revise, and also put an end to it. The faster you finish your proposal and submit it, and less time you have wasted thinking about the writing. Remember, the proposal always can be improved in a later stage of your research. I think that's all for part 2 of our discussion on this topic 4, and I will meet all of you in the Google Meet class, and with further explanation and some exercises on this topic 4, which is a research proposal. Thank you very much. Take care and have a great day, everyone.